Hey, how's it going? Ari here. Another episode of Personality today. Thanks for joining me in this video. We're going to be talking about the traits a little bit more. We're going to be talking about what it means to match and clash with people. So everybody has a lot of matching and clashing going on because of their own personality. Something we want to remember is that nobody really chose their personality. And so in life, you meet a lot of people and you gotta be able to deal with people as they come and go. You might be working with people that you clash with or you match with in your family. There's a lot of chance going on. And so let's try to understand what's going on so that we can gain some kind of an advantage in dealing with these situations, okay? So what I wanted to talk about is the 5 relationship types. So let's go from the top. There is the 4 out of 4. This is what I like to call the holy grail of relationships. So basically a 4 out of 4 is a 100% complementary, mirroring relationship. This is where you want your partner to be. This is where you want your marriage to be in a 4 out of 4 relationship. A lot of people go to 3 out of 4 thinking it's good enough, and over time you start to see some problems. And so 4 out of 4 is ideal for a marriage situation, and a lot of people that you might meet might be 4 out of 4, but there's actually only a 1 in 16 chance that somebody will be 4 out of 4 to you. 3 out of 4, there's more of a chance that there are people that are 3 out of 4 to you, because there are 4 different 3 out of 4 combinations. So if each of the traits are just off only 1 at a time, then that becomes 4 different situations that somebody can be 3 out of 4 to you. And so that's why a lot of the times people will, meet somebody that's 3 out of 4. They think, oh, this person is cool, I like them. There's something that maybe, I don't like about them, or something about their personality that I don't understand or doesn't really match with me. But, I like a lot of other things about them. We can relate. And so, let's make it work. Most marriages and most relationships are actually 3 out of 4. There's more of a chance. There's a 25% chance that you'll meet somebody, in any situation that is 3 out of 4 to you. So that's why you'll see a lot more 3 out of 4 relationships. Is it as good for marriage? I don't think so. I think, there'll be some examples we'll look into in the future, but let's say that for now. So after that, we got the 2 out of 4. 2 out of 4 is half and half. You clash with 2, you match with 2. 1 out of 4, you clash with 3, you match with 1. And as you can see, all of these also have, excuse me, all of these have percentage values that also match with them. And so 4 out of 4 is 100%, 75, 50, 25, and the 0 out of 4 match, which is kind of like the reverse mirror. Instead of somebody being complementary to you, they have the exact same personality traits as you. Once again, this is a sensitive area, because this person, is direct competition to your 4 out of 4s. Everybody that's 4 out of 4 to you is 4 out of 4 to somebody that's 0 out of 4 to you. And you can see how this becomes a little bit of a puzzle. This becomes a little bit of an adventure, trying to deal with all these potential people in your life. So it's exciting though. I think something that needs to be said in all of this is that there's actually an equal amount of competition and cooperation in each of these relationships. So you might be looking at this thinking 4 out of 4 is the best, 0 out of 4 is the worst. But actually 4 out of 4 is good for marriage because the direct cooperation is at 100%. But something interesting happens here. As much as there is direct cooperation, there is indirect competition. 100% indirect competition with a 4 out of 4. What does that mean? What is indirect competition? Something like, people will be competing for their attention. People will be competing for them as a mate if there's a 0 out of 4. That's why the 0 out of 4 is 100% direct competition and 100% indirect cooperation. And so that's magical. How at the very bottom and at the very top, if we're just looking at it like this, we can see that there is basically equal levels of competition and cooperation. And as you go through each of the relationship types, there's also a share of that 100% gradient. And so any relationship that you can have in your life, there is the potential for cooperation and competition. That's awesome. That's something incredible going on here. Because if you just look at it at face value, you might be confused, and so you might want to just remind yourself, even though somebody is clashing, we're just using this as a reference. These are human beings. You understand? These are all people. These are all people in your life, and these are all people that you have the potential to get along with, to compete with in a healthy way, to match with in a healthy way. So let's just try to remember that. We're going to look at some examples, and we're going to talk more about this in the future. But I'm glad you could take a look at that. If you wanted to pause this video, see what that's about. Take some time to think about this, maybe talk about this with the people around you. And something else I wanted to say is that we talked about the traits last time: extroverted, introverted, serious, silly, intense, casual, loud, quiet. And something that's interesting is that we all have these traits. There's not a single human being in this world that doesn't have each one of these traits. That's the incredible thing. I don't know if you recall from Myers-Briggs, I mentioned that you have kind of a leaning, into one or the other in that trait system. What's revolutionary about this, and what is actually happening biologically, is that people are encoded with both. Everyone has a serious side. Everyone has an introverted side. It would be so unrealistic to say that somebody does not have the ability to think about themselves. Obviously, as you live your life, you have a lot of experiences, and the ways that you express these traits and you experience these traits and you choose to lean into one or out of the other, that will change you. And so that is part of the game. That is somehow part of the logic and the choices that you have to make. And that can be tricky. But at the same time, don't forget that every single person has these traits. There's not a single person in this world that doesn't have a silly side. So even though I'm saying silly, it's just a placeholder for the opposite of serious. You could say fun if you want, the fun side and a serious side. Basically there's something happening biologically, and these are the representations of that. So let's just make it easier for ourselves to understand, and let's go from there. Awesome. So thanks a lot, guys. Thanks a lot for watching this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Please subscribe to my channel. I got a lot more videos coming out. I'm excited to see where this goes. I hope that you've learned something. I hope that this makes sense to you. Please leave a comment in the video. Talk to some other people online, in your own life. This is really interesting stuff. There was a reason why I felt like I had to get in front of a camera and share this with you. So looking forward to the next video. If you got any ideas for what you want to see, I'm just going to try to hit the basics now, but there's going to be a time when I'm using examples. I'm trying to point to something that's happening in real life so that you can get a better idea of that. So thanks a lot. Till next time. Cheers.